each and every day. Refresh identity cube task will be executed. Perform maintenance task will be executed. So perform maintenance task is responsible to trigger all policy violation. It will trigger work item to managers or policy violation owner. So in that scenario, work item will be generated and it will forward it. Right, so go to work item. So here you can check. Okay, here's something like policy violation will be. The policy violation has been generated for this user, Bobby. What you have to do, just click on View. So you have to go to Violation. So how you would like to act on this violation decision? You are going to allow the violation. Then you can. You are going to violate, but you can provide the expiration date. So after that, I think something will happen. I'm not sure on that. But you are going to allow the violation. One thing, correct the violation means either you can remove any one of the whole conflicting goals, select and correct violation. It will remove the access and access request will be generated. Certify by identity, which means it's related to certification. The moment you have selected, certification page will open and via certification. You can remove this access by a validation, user validation. So we have three options, always whenever policy violation is going to get rid of. Wait, you go there? You went there to some work item thing, right? Hold on. What are we doing here? I mean, we are tracking what thing? So we have three options. 1. We can allow the violation. Second violation. I'm talking about the violation decision. As a manager, as an official policy violation owner. Whenever violation is going to get triggered, you have to act on that right. Okay, so you will get what you will get. The notification saying policy violation has been triggered for this user. And some work item will be generated. Yeah, in the dashboard. Right. So some violation will be generated and it will forward it to you, since you are the manager or policy violation owner. Now you have to act on that. Okay. So this is the work item address of the following policy violation. So each and everything will be there for which identity. What is the policy name? What is the policy rules? Here you can check. So in one policy we can have as many as rules. Right, policy rule. So the rule name is account rule policy, name is upon department policy, and the conflicting one here. It's been clearly mentioned. So if you want to take any action on that, click on Go to Violation. So from here, you can take the decision. So select Decision from here, Allow Violation, Correct Violation, Certify Identity. Okay. So if you want to allow the violation, so you can select from here. It's related to Submit with Violation. You have seen right the button. The moment we are going to submit with violation. But as a manager you have to act on that as well. So in that scenario, what you can do, you are going to allow the violation for some particular time. So the time duration, expiration time you can mention. From when to when it's going to expire. Okay, and you can provide the comments if you're going to allow the violation. If you want to correct the violation, which means you are going to remove any one of the rule, either this one or this one, you can remove. If you want to correct the violation, okay. You are not sure on this. In that scenario, what you can do, you can trigger a certification. Certification is all about user validation, right? So, whenever they want to validate whether user has the right access or not, what they will do, they will run the certification campaign. Okay, once in a quarter, once in a month. They will trigger the certification. So, in that scenario, what you can do, click on Certify Identity via certification. So the certification page will open. Okay. So from this page, certification is going to trigger only for this particular identity, Bobby Stevens. We have seen in the identity risk as well. Right. We can schedule a certification to validate. Validate means we are going to check whether user has the right access or not, based on their department job function. So here you can manually assign any manager. Sorry, I said a manager, and you can verify. So as part of the certification process, we can do the policy violation action also. I'll show you now, because we are going to learn about certification on. Is it clear? Is it clear how we can take action on the policy violation? Yep. What about Naveen Bartesh Rama? Just again to say please. Yeah, sure. So whenever policy violation is triggered from your subordinate, since you are a manager, some policy violation done by your user, your subordinate, in that scenario policy violation will be triggered. Since you are a manager, some work item will be forwarded to you. Something like this. So in the name of policy violation. Is it clear, Rama? Yes. Okay, so after that you have to take some action on that right in that scenario. Click on View. And click on Go to Violation. Each and every details will be mentioned over here for which identity, and all from here, you can take action. Yeah. Okay. And we have another option called My Work. Go to Policy Violation from here. Also, you can take the action, whether you are going to approve or delete. For particular identity. So let's talk about certification. So can anyone tell me why client will trigger the certification? I think, Vinay, you told right. You are more into certification. It's Naveen, but yeah, I have done certifications like yeah. Okay. Certifications are like renewing accesses and validating accesses in different systems. Basically, certifications are done for multiple purposes. For audit purpose, for making sure that the user is having the right access that he's supposed to have, and for renewing access, for validating the access that they are having. You know if they are having. If they don't have any privileged access, which may create an issue for the team in terms of audit. Right. So these are the purpose, right? So why we are going to trigger certification? Because we need to validate the user access, whether user has the right access or not, since he is working in the banking client banking environment. So banking department, and if he has access, some administrator level access, then we have to remove right. It's not required by accidentally or purposefully. The access has been added, but we have to validate, and we have to remove. So that's the purpose. If it is one identity to identity, lesser number of identity, we can do it manually. But if you have more number of identities, is it possible to do validate manually? No. So in that scenario, certification will pitch in, and it will help us to trigger. Okay, so whenever you are going to trigger any certification, so it will forward it to a particular prospective person. Usually we'll call them as certifier. So certifier it will forward to certifier, and certifier will take the action on that, whether the user has the right access or not. So based on that we can validate very easily. Let's say, in your project you have 1 lakh identities, and some 1,000 managers are there. So what it will happen, one for you, can validate for all. 1 lakh identities, 1,000 review certifiers. We have using that we can easily validate. So that's the purpose. So I'll show you the demo, how the certification is going to work, and what type of certification we have. And certification piece also will discuss so quickly. I'll give you a theoretical. So type of certifications, each and everything. And we'll do the demo. So based on. Let's say first one is going to be manager certification. So before I get into that, I would like to ask. So, since I haven't worked on this audit team. So what will happen? Usually as part of the certification, the same validation you are going to do, or are they going to follow any other process as part of certification? Because validating access, renewing access, is quite similar. We can, but when it comes to audit, then what we do is we reach out to the. So it depends on the application, how an application is audited annually, quarterly, or monthly.